Hi friends, so as you may know, this year I decided to live all my dreams. The first one was to fly with a wingsuit, and it happened this summer. The second one is to finally be able to speak fluently Japanese. I've been to Japan a few times and I've studied Japanese, but I've never been really fluent. And this year I decided to dedicate a lot of time to Japanese and finally be fluent at some point. On this challenge there's two deadlines. The first one is January 2023. I should live another of my dreams, which will be to move to Tokyo for 3 months and study Japanese there. And the goal is to get there with a good level so I can really improve a lot once I'm there. And the second deadline is inspired by a book that I read recently and that had a huge impact on me. The book takes place in Korea and portrays a group of women who make their living by free diving into the Korean Sea. And by doing some research, I found out that there is the same community also in Japan, and they call them ama. And my goal would be to join this group at the end of 2023 and live with them, experience the fact of freediving to get your food and to make a living out of it. And I think I can really learn a lot from those women. It's also a really interesting challenge because I will have the physical aspect where I will train to freedive and hold my breath, etc. And the second one will be, of course, the linguistic and mental aspect where I will study hard to be able to really immerse myself in this community. This is why I established a 4-part strategy to get me to fluency, I hope. The first one is what I call the Enso Method. Enso in Japanese calligraphy is a circle, and it represents pretty well this method because it is a combination of spaced repetition and active recall. So every day I will learn new kanji and words that I will report on cards. And I will use those cards to review those kanji and words 1 day after, 3 days after, 7 days after, 21 days after, and 30 days after. With that, I will combine the spaced repetition with the active recall. When studying, I will always go from the English word to the kanji because it will take into account everything, the pronunciation, the kanji, and the writing. So every time I will write the kanji, I will always pronounce the word so I can combine different memory tricks to remember better. The second method will be a more classical one. In Japan, they have what they call the GLPT, which is the Japanese proficiency test. And it is not mandatory, but I like to have a path and a way to really measure my progress towards this language. The third method will be the exchange. So this is what I did for Chinese, and I've never progressed that much with another method. So basically I found these Chinese students who are studying in Paris past 3, and every Sunday we will meet for 3 hours. For 1 hour and a half I will teach him French, and for 1 hour and a half he will teach me Chinese. And it was perfect because I could really learn everything I really needed. It was really specified, and it was great because I could really learn exactly what I needed in a much faster way than any other method. So there's not a lot of Japanese people now in Paris, especially with COVID. So maybe I'll try to use some online platform. I've seen some, and of course I'll let you know which one suits me the most if you want to try it also at home. The last one is a more entertaining approach. So the first way, of course, is to study with Netflix. I found this amazing Chrome extension that allow me to have double subtitles and to pause the video at the end of every sentence, so I can take the time to learn the different word from the sentence and then carry on. The second method will be with manga. I think it's a really good one because manga are designed to get you really hooked to the story, so you have a real incentive to push to read like the last scan that came out in Japan and is not translated yet. And the third one would be, for example, also with YouTube. I found some channels like Kombini Confessions that is pretty like different from what Japanese content is. Like I think it's an American guy who speaks Japanese, and he does some like interviews in the streets of Tokyo, and you can see Japanese people in a different environment. So this is my study program to get to this final goal of emerging in the AMA community. I hope you like this format. For those of you who want to go more in detail in those different methods, I will put links in playlists. I'll do some videos explaining a little bit more in detail what I do and how I do it. And of course, I will document along the way my progress and what I learned with this study program. Maybe it's really not good and I will change it, or maybe I will be able to tell you what I discovered along the way. The next two videos will focus on the two other main goals of 2022, which are flying a level 2 wingsuit and flying a real airplane. I will start the flight school in a few months now, and of course I'll take you along the way during this journey. See you in the next video.